What do you want to be when you grow up? I heard that question as a child, and I said things like, I want to be a vet. I want to be a teacher. I want to work in advertising. I want to work in HR. And the list goes on and on and on. Today, I managed to fulfill those career aspirations, at least most of it, in the role that I'm in today, which is program manager. Career paths are not 100% linear. And instead of stressing about what you want to be when you grow up, just enjoy the journey of discovery. My next guest career path was all about discovering what he liked and what he didn't like. And he's going to share advice about discovering your career path here on Early Career Unlocked. So, welcome, Alexus.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here. And before you share your advice about discovering your career path, tell us a little bit more about who you are.
Well, again, my name is Alexus Hall. I'm a double military brat. I went to the Prairie View A&M University for undergrad, got my degree in computer engineering, and I got my master's from University of Dallas in IT management. And currently, I work for a cybersecurity company, Crowdstrike, where I'm a technical account manager.
And I've been to Prairie View many times. I love that school. I love the students there. And all because Alexis introduced me to Prairie View A&M. So thank you for that connection to such a wonderful school.
My absolute pleasure. It is the best campus. I'm a little biased, but this is the best campus in the world.
When I met Alexis, he was in a rotation program at another company, and this was his first full time position as a new grad. And I watch him rotate from business unit to business unit as part of the rotation program. And I've seen firsthand how discovery for a career path, how he gained that experience. For you, Alexis, can you dive a little bit deeper of how you're knowledgeable when it comes to discovering your career path?
I definitely can because it wasn't absolutely what I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I first got out of college. I actually found about the rotation program by chance. I've been in this realm for about going on 7 years now, which is kind of crazy. I remember going to career fairs, which I went to every semester. I went so often that the career services team, they knew me by first name, and I would even volunteer my time. I was always helping, and I was always eager to find internships. And it was my senior year, so it's either make or break time to where you got to figure out your next role. And I had already in my mind, if I didn't find a full time position, I'd just go to grad school, which I ended up doing anyway when I first started working. Got to the career fair. Of course, I talked to many employers, and luckily, I found one of the companies they were offering the first year a graduate rotation program. We were able to rotate through different business units to find what that first stop in our career would be after the rotation program. So it helped open up my horizons on the different things because with any degree, it is pretty broad what you can do with computer engineering. I know for sure it could go into software or go into the hardware space. Cybersecurity was not my first choice, but being in cybersecurity, it has definitely opened my mind and to the possibilities and the different career paths that I can do within this realm.
Yes. And you made a really good point. And before you jump into the vice portion of it, is that, you can have any degree. It's just whatever you're passionate about. It's all about discovering how you can take those skills that you gain from your degree into other roles. And you are just a prime example of having coming out with a computer science degree and then discovering cybersecurity and discovering sales engineering later down in your career. What three pieces of advice would you like to offer to our students today, especially when it comes to discovering your career path?
So one of the first ones is it's okay to not know what you want to do now. I know throughout college, I changed my mind at least 3 or 4 times. Ever since middle school, I knew I wanted to be an engineer, especially dealing with technology, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So just because you're in college today, or even in that first entry job, what you're doing now is not the end all be all. The second thing, whenever you go into career fairs, talk to everyone. You never know. You just never know who will be offering an opportunity to give you that first chance into your career path. Cybersecurity was not on my radar initially. Being in this space, it has definitely opened up my horizons and helped me get an understanding of cybersecurity as a whole, which is it's the possibilities are endless in this realm. And lastly, you are the future. With these next generation coming up, I know Many companies are looking for fresh faces. This is why they have internships. That's why they have entry level roles because they want to have fresh minds. A lot of these different companies, they have people that have been there for 10 plus years, 20 years. So they're not used to having that mindset whenever you was in college where you have to be super innovative. So that's why they like to have those fresh minds. So don't be afraid to be that person to speak up, be able to express your fresh ideas because those new ideas could help bring those companies to a new space or a new horizon whenever you join those companies.
I love all the pieces of advice. I think it's relevant to our students, but especially number one, that one applies to anybody at any point of their career. Journey to career comfort, which means I like what I do, I'm good at what I do, I'm a subject matter expert. Sometimes it involves discovering your passion over and over and over again to get to that point. Not knowing what you want to do now, it's okay because you're still in that discovery mode. Three pieces of advice from Alexis today. One, it's okay to not know what you want to do now. Two, talk to every company you can at career fairs. And three, you are the future. And just to wrap things up, do you have any last pieces of advice or any last things you'd like to offer to our viewers?
One last piece of advice, and it kind of goes back into the first one, and it was the advice that I learned through the rotation program. Because our manager, she used to always say, the rotation was just 6 months. The program was 2 years, so each rotation we did 6 months. The good news is, if you don't like a rotation, it's just 6 months. If you love it, the bad part is 6 months, and that's kind of pretty much how it is with any role that you take into your career. The good news is, it's you don't have to stay in that particular role. If there's something that piques your interest and there's something that you want to apply for, take that leap and apply because that could be that role that you want to take in the future. In college, if you're doing internships, the good news is if you don't like the internship, it's temporary. So you can always apply to do something else and change your avenue because there's people who have been in certain careers for 5 to 10 years and done a complete revamp of their careers. And you can do the same even within your internship or within your college career today.
I love that advice because you know what internships are? A try before you buy.
Right.
It's a try before you settle down into that particular role. And I don't think students realize that, if you have a degree, it doesn't dictate what type of internship you should be doing. It's really like what you really want to do. What do you want to learn? Where there are gaps in your education that you can get an internship to sort of fill in some of those gaps. So internships are a try before you buy, and it's all part of the discovering your career path. So, Alexis, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest on the show today and sharing your story and your advice about discovering your career path.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored to be a part of this show. And it's always good to see familiar faces and talk to a friend.
And also to a shout out to Prairie View A&M. To our viewers, subscribe for more career advice from industry experts every week here on Early Career Unlocked.